Hello! The new school year is starting. My hands drip crazy when I write, and the Panini have changed everything to online lecture. I have tried trillion of methods to adapt to this online lecture for the past a year and a half, but now lectures are back to in-person university again. Yes, find one method that suits your DNA, you as an individual. Is it handwriting, iPad's Notability, or Goodnotes, or MacBook's Remnote? Hello, welcome back. I am Priscilla, and I am a university student. When I was scripting this video, I was thinking about how to conceptualize my whole thinking process. So why not start with something that we all have in common? It's the beginning of the school year and I rush out of bed just to get my sweatpants and hoodie ready for class. I ran to the bookstore to buy books, notebooks, binders, and if I'm a creative person, I might even go buy colorful pens, highlighters to color code my notes. As my first semesters went by, there are a bunch of handouts, scans, textbooks, lecture slides, worksheets that I won't even touch after the semester ends. Lol. So in a perfect world, I would find a combination of notebooks, pencils, pens, and binders for myself. Well, actually my life is just a mess instead of in an ideal world. The ideal world technically don't exist, so that's back to reality. My genetics are very unique that nobody can imitate my way of note-taking. We all have our own unique genetic being of escaping competition. I have come up with 3 criteria to access this note-taking tool. First, it has to be an efficient and fun note-taking experience. And the second one is a fast search function because when I am studying, I don't want to flip through all my notes. I want to search with the keyword and I can jump to that piece of knowledge. And then 3 is all the tools I need, like organizing, connecting, highlighting, and moving my notes around, and formatting. I have seen so many people who are carrying
What's your study method? What is your question bank? What is your way of organizing your notes? That is not the main point.
Repeat after me. Do not copy other people's note-taking method or style. With all those criteria in place, this is how I fall in love with note-taking with the kindling curiosity. And yes, please come to our wedding and pay $10 to watch our live stream on YouTube. So first, handwriting. I really enjoyed the journey of writing notes, and the feeling of just paper and ink together is just chef kisses. I love it so much that the typing or iPad cannot replace this handwriting experience. While research do show that possibly handwriting is better for memory, a study has found that sensory motor memory traces acquired during handwriting training support spelling of words, presumably due to improved memory of letters. The handwriting method of note-taking will be particularly useful when I'm learning a language because I can actually write out the word and learn the spelling. So in conclusion, nothing beats the experience of writing on paper, but there are many downsides with this. As semesters go by, knowledge accumulates and I'll just have a lot of notebooks, handouts, and papers with binders and textbooks that I have to physically carry around. And the main point is that I cannot search up my notes with my keywords because there is no text recognition here. When I took notes with handwriting, I like to print out pictures and diagrams for notes and highlight keywords in a chapter. So when I take notes, my desk is a complete mess of stationaries. So next, we move on to the iPad era, which this trend started around 2017-2018. The benefits of the iPad is very obvious. There's no need of carrying many heavy textbooks and notebooks around when you travel between classes. Just on this thin piece of tablet, hold all your notes and memories for tests. I can format my notes easily and move things around, put pictures, resize titles, and move my text around, watch videos, Google things on the spot, import screenshots, or drag and dropping from Google. I started to wonder, will this be my new next love of life in note-taking? I'm just following a crowd because everyone around me seems to be using it, and I'm ahead as fly without my own opinion. And the upfront cons is that the iPad is an expensive one-time purchase. It costs like an egg or a kidney or an arm and leg on the black market, and I don't want to lose my body parts. It's not only the iPad itself's cost, you might want to add keyboards, cases, the Apple Pencil, and the screen protector. So it can add up to around $1,000 if you're buying the Pro, and maybe $800 or $700 around like that for buying an iPad Air. And then when I got the shiny fancy toy iPad, I didn't know what app to choose. It was Goodnotes and Notability. There was that fight there. I still remember I
always ask my friend, do you use Goodnotes? Do you use Notability? Do you use Goodnotes or Notability? Do you use those? Which one's better? Can you tell me me.
Let's go through those apps based on the interface, how you create notes, storage system, pricing, and memorization. So first, it is a user interface and storage. It is quite different for those both apps. Goodnotes, I can display the notebooks as a list view or a gallery walk view. Just feel like I'm walking in the Vatican Museum in Italy. It's so beautiful. It feels like that when I'm walking through my notes digitally on the iPad. And how you switch between notes is by pressing the tabs. And the organization of Goodnotes is that each note is within a notebook. And for Notability, the user interface is a sidebar on the left with the subjects and files and subfolders, and on the right it is the list of notes that you have created within the folders. You can switch between notes by swiping the left sidebar, and it shows the 10 most recent files that you have opened. And you can use this sidebar as creating a multi-panel view, but in Goodnote you don't have this function of in-app multi-notes viewing. And speaking of Notability, it has this special function where you can record voiceovers. Hello, 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 you see? It is recording my voice right now, and as I write. So if you want to listen to what the teacher is talking about as you take your notes, you can click on the microphone button in the top right corner, and as you write, the audio recording will match with the note that you're writing. But Goodnotes does not have this. So for this part, user interface, Notability wins for this because it is very simple as a quick notes drafting app. Goodnotes will be better for detailed and organized notes on a subject back from lectures. And second, let's go on to creating a note. In Goodnotes, it is not as simple. You have to create a notebook first and then choose this type of paper, the cover style and the paper template, and then you start writing in that notebook. And what's special about Goodnotes is each type of paper can be customized based on what you need. For example, there's also music sheets too, and create music compositions in Goodnotes too. In Notability is also straight dead simple. You just press the top button in the top right corner and a note will appear. It is an infinity scrolling page style. It is not like Goodnotes you can flip between pages. It feels like an endless pile of scrap paper.
There's no winner here for creating a note. It really depends on if you want to create a notebook or just scrap papers to capture quick thoughts.
Third criteria is the tools of note-taking. They know their own group of users and what they need. Their pen's color, thickness, and pressure sensing are very phenomenal. In Goodnotes, there are more selections with the pens and colors. You can change the thickness of the pen to any point you want and set 3 colors of thickness and styles you want on the toolbar.
There are also 3 types of pen to choose from: the fountain pen, ballpoint pen, and brush pen.
With Notability, there are 2 types of pen you can pick, the ballpoint one or the pressure sensing. I like to use the pressure sensing one because it feels natural when I write. There are a preset library of colors, and you can also customize your own color in the palette. But you cannot customize the thickness of the pen like Goodnotes. And with highlighters and erasers, this is what annoys me the most.
Notability and Goodnotes do the same thing about highlighting, but Goodnotes has one tool that stands out.
There's also a specific erase for erasing highlighters only, so you don't accidentally erase your notes. And then with the next tool of note-taking is drawing geometric shapes, because we obviously want to use iPad as a workbook where you can practice physics, math, or economics word problems. With Notability, you have to draw a shape that is close to perfect for the app to recognize it as a geometric shape. And you have to pin your Apple Pencil at that place for around 2 to 3 seconds and that shape will appear. And speaking of geometric shapes, in Notability there is math Greek symbol recognitions, but it comes with another extra purchase. If you really like to use Notability for math, maybe this is an option that you might consider because this does not exist in Goodnotes. But with Goodnotes, there is this geometric pen where you can draw straight lines directly. It is a lot faster.
There's also no particular winner for this one, but it depends on if you want more customization or simple, quick writing.
And then the fourth one is after we have taken our notes, how can we study them? Goodnotes have a new function for you to make flashcards. So for making a flashcard, you have to pick on the template. Top part of the page is the front part, and then the bottom of the part is the back part of the flashcard. When I turn on studying mode, Goodnotes will also apply a spaced repetition algorithm by how I answer the flashcards. But with Notability, there is none of this function. And then the last point, which comes to the most important thing. Our money is the price. For Goodnotes, it is one single purchase for both iPads and Mac operating systems, so you don't need to spend any extra money. But for Notability, extra purchase is required for Mac, and there are also extra functions you can purchase with Notability, like the bullet journaling template or the math Greek symbol thing that I talk about. So it really comes down on what function you want to use. If it's more of a quick capture in scrap paper note-taking style, Notability might suit for you. But if you like really organized note-taking and pen customization, the Goodnotes might be your better friend. So in my case, I use Notability or lecture notes when they're in person because it feels more natural to just slide through the pages in a vertical format. For Goodnotes, I take detailed organized notes after class. From some of my experience is that I really like the iPad for anatomy and physiology because I can annotate and label diagrams very easily on the slide, and compared to typing on a computer, I can't label diagrams. Since I took calculus and chemistry in my first year of college in UCSD, I really like to use iPad. The iPad really meets all my criteria for note-taking. It is fun and is very efficient, and it is also searchable. iPad combines the benefits of handwritten notes and digital note-taking of the searchability function. So when lectures were in person, this was the perfect solution. But the downside of iPad started to appear when lectures began to move online since the Panini became to be not as efficient. And what also annoys me is how you take screenshot on the iPad and you have to crop it and then add it from the photos instead of just copy and pasting it on the MacBook, which is a lot easier and faster. As I move to upper division classes, I have more application-based things like orthodontics, pathology of dentistry. There's a lot of information in theory to process. Handwritten notes on iPad does not allow this to happen because there's so much things to process. So, we have come to my last and current love dating mate of computers, note-taking app, Remnote. As much of a math nerd that I am, I type around 100 words per minute. So the efficiency of processing information is already a clear winner here. There are just more tools and shortcuts that I can use on the Mac, and here I will just go through all of the things that why students should not buy an iPad. So the first one is that I can structure my notes on the spot as the lecture goes along. And then the second one is taking screenshots and importing photos are a lot easier into Remnote. I press Command-Shift-3 for taking a screenshot of the whole screen, and then Command-Shift-4 for selecting a portion of the screen. Unlike the iPad, I don't need to crop the photo and then drag and drop it from the iPad with my hands. I can just use Command-Tab to switch between Finder and my note-taking app to copy and paste the photo. And this brings us to our next point, a flashcard with double colon in Remnote. I can do immediate active recall. This means that I can structure my flashcards on the spot and know that which information is valuable for memorizing, because the teacher has mentioned it in the class that information might be important or this might be on the test, and give multiple examples of this pathology or theory. I can take note of it on my notes while typing right away. And then the next point of making Mac stand out for note-taking is the app called Text Sniper. It is a screenshot app, but it turns the text you screenshot into text that you can paste. This function is phenomenal. When the teacher is playing a video or the slides are not available yet, I can screenshot the bullet points and text from the slide and paste them into my note-taking app Remnote directly. And then the next is searching on the point. I used Alfred with this. Well, have you ever heard of Alfred? If you have not, it is an advanced spotlight function where you can build your own workflows. I can press a shortcut and the search bar of Alfred will appear, and I can type here into Google or YouTube and the web page will pop up directly without having the friction of clicking on the app and then typing Google and then going into the search bar to conduct this whole searching process. It's just so much faster. Those are some of the apps and shortcuts that I use on my Mac for note-taking. And in 2020 and 21, we have so much freedom taken away because everything is online, but it also opened another door of freedom to digital world of note-taking and having lectures at home. Is that it really depends on the situation of environment and the format of lectures. If I go back to in-person lecture, I will use my iPad again, and if the Panini is still happening along, then the lecture online, I will use my computer. This is about being really adaptive and contingent with the situation. I just use iPad for entertainment purposes and graphic designs on YouTube. And for Macs, I do most of my work and studying on there, scripting, YouTube, screenwriting. After this whole journey, I'm back with my present self with this wonderful equilibrium. And if you have found your device for note-taking, here are some videos on note-taking apps and their comparison and some of my workflows. Remember that happiness is a choice and a skill to be learned. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time here. Have a good day and enjoy life, and bye-bye. I'll see you guys next time.